morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to talk about a very cool Pokemon TCG promotion which has gone and been revealed, which is going to be starting, and is something about which I am very, very interested. It is the Get Daisakusen promotion, and basically the whole premise of it is buy Pokemon stuff and then get actual in-game items for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which is lovely. The thing is, it does include Pokemon TCG products, and that means we need to have a good old chat about it. What products are we talking about here? We are talking about the Generations decks. So basically the deal is you go and buy a bunch of stuff over in Japan, and depending on what you buy, you get a certain amount of points, and then the points can be used to redeem in-game products for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, including legendary Pokemon, and we all know that not all the legendary Pokemon are actually available everywhere super easily. And if you go and buy one of the Generations decks, you get yourself 5 points, which, of course, one of the first questions I have here is, alright then, is that the most? And the answer is joint most. There are a bunch of other things that will get you 5 points, but there is nothing that will get you more than 5 points. And that is 5 points per deck. Which then, of course, leads to the fairly sensible follow-up question. What about that other product? Now, they're releasing a separate box to the Generations decks, which gets you, we talked about this before, it's amazing, I've got it on pre-order, I'm very excited about this, where you get 4 of the decks. So you get Gen 1, Gen 2, the first 2, Gen 8, Gen 9, the last 2, but then you get a bunch of other stuff, including the coins, yay, but more importantly, promos including Meowth and Paldean and Wooper, illustration rares, brand new illustration rares, and also a brand new mechanically unique Suicune. It is a very cool product indeed. And the wonderful news for anybody wondering is that if you buy that product with the 4 decks, you will get 4 lots of 5 points. That is 20 points in total, which is wonderful. And then there's a website where you go and actually redeem and all of that. So you go to the website, I'll try and remember to link it in the description. You register, you get the code on your gift, you enter the code, and then you go and claim your product and your game, and life is good. Get your promotion code, enter the promotion code, and get your gift. And then you go and pick it up in the game. Jobs are good, and frankly. And I love stuff like this. As far as I'm aware, we're not getting a similar promotion in UK, US, Europe, etc. I personally would love to see something like this. I think this is awesome. And, you know, speaking as somebody who taught business for many years, this kind of cross-promotion is brilliant, because some people are going to go, oh, I want these legendary Pokemon, I want to get these points, hey, I can go and pick up these decks, that's lovely. Not everybody is, there are other ways to get them, but some people are going to use this as an excuse to get into the Pokemon TCG, and that's kind of brilliant. But what other products are available? And I'm going to be honest with you, there is a very, very wide range. How about 1 point for Pokemon Chocolate Cream and Whipped Bread, or Pokemon Bacon Cheese Mayonnaise Bread? Random snacks in Japan that you go pick up at Combinese, etc. are just unrivaled. Picking up these to go and get points, to go and get stuff in Scarlet and Violet, that sounds like a pretty nice idea to me. Definitely something that I would be considering. Or maybe you just want to go and buy some Pokemon figures. Some Moncoal figures. They're 4 or 5 points for the Moncoal figures, or 2 to 5 points for Takara Tomy Arts figures. So you want to go buy some toys? You can get some of these points as well if you go along these lines. And maybe you want to. For me personally, I am a huge fan of Japanese magazines. They help me practice my language skills, and they often come with promo cards. Although these ones here don't. But there are a couple of those that are on offer, and that is Korokoro Comic, which has had promo cards in the past but doesn't yet. That is basically just like a kids comic magazine thing. And Weekly Famitsu, which is, as the name might suggest, a weekly video game magazine, which I don't pick this one up often, but all they've got to do is put a Pokemon video game on the cover, and I will buy every single issue. And I have for years bought every single issue that has a Pokemon game on the cover. There's a bunch of other stuff, and you know the one thing I've got to point out here. Pokemon Friender. I don't quite know exactly how you get points from Pokemon Friender. Not sure exactly how that works, but if you've been following this channel, me on Twitter, etc., you know I'm a huge fan of Pokemon Friender. Have actually made a video about the game. It is, for those that don't know, it's an arcade game over in Japan, where you play the arcade game, you catch Pokemon, but they are, when you catch them, if you pay 100 yen, which is like 65 cents, then the Pokemon you catch actually will be distributed as a plastic tag, which is incredibly cool. So what can you get then? What gifts can you receive if you collect these points? Bunch of in-game stuff. Now, here is basically the complete list, and you will notice that, you know, you got things like rare candy and big golden eggs, gold nugget, and various things along those lines. But the main reason we're going after these is for your legendary Pokemon. So 1 point gets you Keldeo, 10 points gets you Zarude, and 20 points gets you Deoxys. And I know not everybody cares, and that's absolutely fine, but picking up these mythical Pokemon in the game can be awkward. We generally need to get these events running where we can actually pick them up, and you're telling me I can go and buy... Well, to get all 3 of these, you need 7 decks. 2 for Zarude, 4 for Deoxys, 1 for Keldeo. You would then have some points left over. And, you know, there's 9 of these decks available, so you buy all 9 decks, you get 45 points, you got 14 points left over. Go and buy yourself, I don't know, 10 pieces of energy, or 20 big golden eggs, or something along those lines. Why not? And I know this is primarily a TCG channel, so we're not going to go deep into all of the Pokemon and their moves, but you can see Keldeo here's got Revenge, Aqua Tail, Tackle, and Sacred Sword. Level 50, all that good stuff. You can see that Zarude has got Scary Face, Grass Knot, Bite, and Somersault. Yes, these names are machine translated, as you might guess. And then Deoxys has Psychokinesis, Power, Skill Swap, and Death Punch. So all of these Pokemon are now available by buying Pokemon TCG decks. And look, I didn't need any more reason. And I'm sure I did this. I did this previously with Pokemon TCG. I'm sure I did this last time. And I don't need any more reason to pick up these Generations decks. I have had all 9 of these decks on pre-order since the day they went up for pre-order in Japan. Generations 3 to 7, I have gone and just pre-ordered normally. And then I pre-ordered a special set that's got Generations 1, 2, 8, and 9. So this isn't necessarily for me. Like, for nerds like me who are going to buy these decks anyway, it's a cool bonus, but it's nothing more. But there are going to be people out there where they're not really Pokemon TCG fans who want to get these Pokemon in the game, and this is just an excuse. You got to buy something to get those points. Why not go and buy Pokemon decks? And the genius of making these available in decks is that you can play with them. If you go and buy booster packs and booster boxes and all of that, then you've got some cards, but you need to make a deck, and it becomes awkward. But if you just go and pick up, like, this set with 4 decks in, which will be enough then to get you Deoxys, well, you've got 4 decks you can play with. All of these decks are just playable out of the box. You don't need to do any deck building or mucking about. You open up the decks, boom, they're ready to go. That makes a huge difference because it means you can just roll. And I love this. I think this is brilliant and wonderful. Anything that gets more people into the Pokemon TCG is a win for me because, I mean, partly it's a great game that I think more people should play, and partly my livelihood is very clearly dependent on the Pokemon TCG, so the more people that are playing it, the better it is for me. But I just think this is cool. It's a kind of thing where if you're into the TCG anyway, it's just a handy bonus, and if you're not, it might get you in. What if I'm into the TCG but I don't play Scarlet and Violet? I don't know, give the coast to your friends. Your friends will love you for it. There we go. Problem solved. Either way, this is a cool Pokemon TCG promotion, and on this channel, we talk about fun Pokemon TCG stuff, and I'm pretty sure this counts. But I've told you all about it now, so now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me if this is the kind of thing you would love to see in the West. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. And get shoutouts on the channel like the lovely Ray of Light, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and seems to be very lovely. So shoutouts to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.